It's your favorite underemployed game developer. Let's get right into it. Or that way? Or whatever. I need a better intro. Alright, what's going on, party people? It's your boy. So yeah, welcome to the Devlog. As you can tell from this demo versus the last one, there's not a lot visibly changed. But there are some key differences. As you can probably tell, I actually did a little bit of terrain painting. I wanted to test it out and see what it was like. It's really not as hard as I thought it was going to be, right? But kind of the more important things is that I've actually added smaller secondary menus. So the first time I did it, it wasn't capped. But now it's just capped to 4, so whenever someone takes out a spell, it's capped to like 1 or 4 of the spells, or the first 4 or whatever. That's not particularly randomized at the moment, right? It's not a draw, it's not a deck that's drawn from, it's literally just the first 4. But we'll work on that next week. Also, you know, I've kind of retooled a lot of things, because at first a lot of stuff was just testing it, like placeholder stuff, but now that I actually started implementing things that I want for the first iteration of the game, I guess the first playable version of the game, right? So on top of that, we've also got, you know, our first drive abilities. So drive, unlike mana, it uses a drive gauge. Well, I guess it's not drive anymore. I've renamed it courage because it's not the same thing. Courage is also a temporary name as well. But it is not the same thing as a drive, right? A drive would be a transformation, and then I think they changed it to something else. I don't remember what's in 3. I'll be honest. I'm playing 3 right now, but 3 is leaving a very small impact. But anyway, so essentially what it does is it does an animation, and then during that animation, particle, like it literally just does kind of the same thing a spell would do, except there's an animation attached. And then in that animation, we have a object being launched, right? So like in the middle of the animation, during the punch motion, it instantiates a new object, and that object goes forward to attack the enemy, right? That's specifically for the drive ability that we have right now, right? That's not gonna be for all drive abilities, obviously, but that's just the one we have right now. We got 2 of those. We've got 2 of those right now. Oh, and another thing that we've done that's been kind of useful is adding better keyboard and mouse support. Like I said, I've actually been mostly using my controller for testing, but you can comfortably play the game with keyboard and mouse now. It's actually a lot different, and honestly, I'd almost recommend it for someone who's not used to this game. It's a lot easier to navigate, but it's not. But there are a lot more easier. It's very different playing the game with 2 hands and playing it with 1.5 hands. You know. But yeah, kind of on top of that, I'll be working on doing shortcuts soon. Right? I think Connor in the comments suggested that I do that, and I was like, yeah, that's actually a really smart move. I was gonna work on that this week anyway, but I got kind of sidetracked. But yeah, drops for enemies are now chance, right? So you may get what you want, you might not have an enemy. And other than that, I think, oh yeah, and also Nav Meshes. I've added Nav Meshes to the small enemies. They're the only enemies right now because they're kind of placeholder enemies. But we will get to working on enemies at some point in the next couple weeks. But right now, enemies are kind of just like I said, there's generic placeholder little slime guys. All right, but we'll get to working on them actual ones in a little bit. But yeah, after that, I think that's pretty much all that I've done this week. It's like I said, it's been a really hectic week. Things break, it happens. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and of course, peace. Yo, it's PS Eddie, Postscripta Eddie. Just letting you guys know that I'm actually planning on making a lore video later this week. I wanted to do it on Monday, but the video would have been too long. It would have been over like 15 minutes. So we're gonna do the lore video on Wednesday. All right, peace.